Okay, so everyone can see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is the first time that the ministry is offering a new grant, which is called the Consortium, the Research Excellence Consortium, and they just announced this last Friday. And this will be the way forward, how the ministry wants the high COEs to progress. So instead of being a high COE, which is in individual universities, they would like us to form consortiums, and later they will we can bid for high COEs. So this is the like a mini high COE. So they want us to establish collaborations with other universities. So in the consortium, there are 3 universities, one leading research group and 2 members of the consortium. Okay, so I will go through the forms. So basically, those who wish to apply, there are 2 forms, Borang A and Borang B. Okay, and these forms have to be vetted by RMC. So there will be an internal evaluation at the university. So I would like to request those who want to apply to submit the forms to RMC by the 21st of September, so that we have time to evaluate before we submit to KPT. Okay, so here the definition of the consortium. It requires 3 research groups from different universities, and they should be of the same specialization. Okay, so the mission is to create activities in a specific research trust to fit the needs of the nation, the government, academicians, industry, and the community, to be a referral point in their specific research trust for the region and internationally. So the consortium consists of 3, so the leading group and 2 other research groups which will be the member. Okay, so they have put in their requirements. Each of these should be a center of excellence or research research groups. Okay, so for the leader of the consortium, the leader should be a center of excellence or research unit or a research institute which has been established by the university. So it cannot be the ones that are established at the level of the faculty. So it has to be established at the level of the university. That means it's endorsed by the University Research Council or the Senate. Okay, whereas the 2 other members can be the 2 other members. So for example, if you want to apply as a member, then your research group can apply. But if you have if you want to be the leader, you should be as a research cluster or research institute which is endorsed by the university. Okay, so each member here can have 2 other can be 3 researchers. So 3, 3, 3. So there are a total of 9 researchers in total for the consortium. Okay, so 3 researchers in one group. So 3 for the leader and 6 for the members. Okay, so these are the criteria for the leader I go through the leader first, the leader of the consortium, and they have the leader of the consortium as a whole. They have very strict criteria. So for all researchers, they have to be Malaysians. The leader should be a professor. This one they are not strict. So you can be a professor, associate professor, lecturer. It doesn't matter as long as you are an academician. You should be from the research institute or the research cluster. And the leader should have an active grant related to the field, okay, and should be the principal investigator, okay, and they will check the track record of the leader, whether he or she has produced publications, and this should all be specified in the proposal. So for the members, the requirements are not strict. The members should be Malaysians and they should be academicians, professor, associate professor, lecturers. Okay. So for this, so for example, if this is from UIA, so the other two can be from UIA, and you can collaborate with another university. It can be a private university or IPTA, or that means the public institutions. So for example, you can collaborate with UTM, USM, etc. And you can also collaborate with the private universities, let's say Petronas, Unitan, others. Okay. Okay. So these are the research fields or the research trusts which you can apply for. There are 8 in total. So the first is transportation and mobility. Number 2 is artificial intelligence. Number 3 is IR 4.0. Number 4 is economic competitiveness, digital learning, teaching and learning, creative industry, and future food. Okay, so they would like us to choose one research trust that you would like to bid in, and in the research proposal you should have development of talent. That means your master's or PhD students. You should intend to, at the end of these 2 years, so the grant is for 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, you should be ready to apply for high COE. And of course, the consortium intends to be a referral point for the specific niche area, and there should be collaborative research that has benefits for the industry. Okay. All right. So now the other criteria. The other criteria is that all the members should be Malaysians. The consortium will be led by one university, and it will have 2 other members. And those who are on sabbatical are not allowed to be leaders, and the leader should have an active grant, and it should be in the research field that they apply for. Each group is only allowed to apply in one proposal. So for example, you cannot apply with two applications. So if you have already said that you are going to be a member for this proposal, you cannot be a member for another proposal. Okay, so this is in relation to this requirement. So you can only be a member for one consortium at any one time, and all applications must fit the research niche that is specified, and all members will have to be member of the project as well. Okay, so these are the expected research outcomes. The first one is the research talent. You should, in the proposal, you should specify 1 PhD and 2 masters. So this is not completion of the studies, because the grant is only for 2 years and PhD is a bit difficult to complete within 2 years. So this is enrollment. So you should at least have 3 students enroll, which is 1 PhD and 2 masters, and it should be within the research scope. Okay, in the terms of publication, the research output is two Q1 or Q2 index publication, or 4 index publication in the JCR. And you should specify that your affiliation to the consortium, and the acknowledgement, you should specify that it comes from the ministry's grant or the consortium grant. Okay, another output is collaboration. You should have collaboration in the industry or other institutions, okay, other universities. So you can show the proof of collaborations in the publication, so where you have the co-authors from other institutions. Okay, and another interesting output is that they want the consortium to be prepared to be involved in writing of policies or frameworks for the nation. So it depends. So for example, if your topic is future food, so you should check which ministry would be involved in this future food, and you should be prepared to do the framework or the roadmap for the country in that specific area. Okay, and then okay, so the proposal, these are the rules and regulations. So the proposal has to be vetted by has to be evaluated at the university, and the evaluators should be a professor, and of course there will be corrections or recommendations. So you should have a letter of intent. Letter of intent for the collaborations, and this should be verified by the director of the RMCs for each institutions. Okay, and then you should follow the format, and so of course the RMC will only submit applications which are complete and which are supported, and the submission should be in both soft copy and hard copy. Okay, this is the flow chart for the application process. Okay, so first the application, and then once the application is complete, it will be evaluated at the university, and once this is complete, the forms will be sent to the ministry, and the ministry will do a first evaluation. If it is successful, you'll be required to present to the panel your proposal, and then they will have a meeting and they will give their results. Okay, so how the criteria for evaluation, the first one is that it should meet the 8 research trusts that was specified earlier, and the consortium should help the nation in solving problems for the country, and of course you should comply to all the rules and guidelines that is specified by the ministry in Borang A and Borang B in the application forms. Okay, so how the consortium will be done. So it will start at the start date, which should be by the end of the year. And you should have an LOI between the universities in the beginning for the proposal. Once you have been verified as a consortium, then there should be an MOA between all the other two universities. Okay, so if there are any changes in the proposal, the ministry should be notified, and it should also comply to the guidelines. And everything, of course, should comply to the guidelines, and the implementation should meet the proposal. Okay, so this the budget is 500,000. So 60% of it, which is 300,000, is allocated for research. 20% or 100K is allocated for networking and collaboration. So networking and collaboration, this means you are allowed for travel, and the intention is that the travel is not limited to local. It is also it also allows international travel, but the intention is that the travel should be with the intention of applying for international grants. Okay, and of course technical visits are allowed. And the last 100K is for training. So it can be training, professional training, certification, or research attachment overseas. So it is for the researchers who are in the consortium. Okay, and these are the budget votes. Okay, the budget votes are similar to all the ministries' votes. So the first one is vote 11,000, which is for the graduate research assistant. It's the same ceiling. For PhD is 2,300, and for masters is 1,800. Okay, you may also pick a research assistant, which is not a student, and this maximum is 1,500. Okay, and vote 21,000 is for travel. This is for conferences, seminars, colloquium, and of course others that I mentioned to apply for international grants, but it should not be more than 20% from the total grant. Rental, vote 24,000 is rental. Rental is only allowed for buildings, equipment, transport, etc. Okay, and this is research materials. As usual, they don't allow buying of computers. And vote 28,000. This is for repair of equipment, research equipment, and some small adjustments to the building, etc. Okay, vote 29,000 is honorarium. This includes conference fees, hospitality, certification, etc. So of course training costs. This is for the training or for the research attachment overseas is allowed only once and not more than 3 months. Okay, and finally vote 35,000 is for equipment. Of course the equipment should be related to the proposal. Okay, so how this grant is different from the other KPT grants is that there is a heavy focus on the collaboration, networking, and research attachments. So the idea is that they want you to collaborate, so there should be visits within the 3 universities and visits to outside to extend your collaborations. So those that apply for collaboration, those that include collaborations with the industry especially, and the agencies, the ministries that is going to be involved in the writing the policies, that will have higher impact to your proposal. Okay, so the idea is that they want us to collaborate with the industries, and this should be facilitation for that. Okay, so for the training or the research attachment, it should be related to the field, and it is allowed both overseas and local. Okay, so these are the ones that is not allowed. These items, you cannot use the monies for payment of memberships, payment of utilities and telecommunication. You cannot purchase furniture and or rental of buildings, and you cannot also use to pay for this is RMC charge, so we are not allowed to charge in using the grant, and no purchase of laptops, phones, etc., unless it's related to the project. Okay, this is also storage, hard drives, CDs, etc., hard disk. This is also not allowed, and IP is not an output, so you cannot include the payment of IPs in the proposal. Okay, and of course, any other purchase that is not related to the project is not allowed. Okay, so if successful, a letter will be given, the approval letter will be given to the Deputy Rector of Research and Innovation, and the funds will be given to the head or the leading institution, and the leading institution should be responsible to uh, to to give the funds to the other two universities which are the members. Okay, so the decisions are final, and um, if there is any wrongdoings, the KPT can terminate the grant. And okay, so this is all on the consortium. Before we go to the forms, are there any questions? No questions? Okay. Salam, yes.
Dr. Anes, this Hanafi.
Yes, Dr. Hanafi.
See your slide.
Huh?
Your slide cannot see. I don't know others.
Oh, now only you tell me. I thought just now when I said I asked the everyone mentioned that they can see the slides. Actually, the slides are here. I put the link here.
All right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. You couldn't see when I shared. Everybody else also couldn't see.
No.
We can see.
See. Initially, I can see, but in the middle, something happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. There. If you need any clarification, any other questions on the, like say, the intention of the research consortium, or any clarification on something that might be confusing is who the leader should be and who are the members. So if you are intending to collaborate with a research institute, with another university, so for example UTM, USM, or whatever, you can be a research group which is at the kuliah level. So this is okay. But if you want to be a leader, then you should have you should be one of the research unit, research cluster, or research institute that is established by the university. So that part is clear. So if you want to be the leader, your research institute should be at least 3 years old. And if you want to be a research group, your research group should be at least 2 years old. So this is the main criteria. Okay, any other questions?
So can I ask question?
Yes, go ahead.
So this means that let's say new project leader which doesn't belong to any research cluster are not able to be project leader, right?
Yeah, yeah, you cannot be project leader, but if you are a member of a research group, then you can be a member.
Can you
Whether you,
can you define what research group means?
so research groups are research groups that are established at university. So I'm not sure about other faculties, but for example, in Kuliah of Engineering, we have a lot, quite a lot, maybe more than 10 research groups, which are based in the faculty. So they are established at faculty level, and yeah, they have, for engineering, we are expected to be a member of at least one research group. So yeah, these are established at the research group at the faculty. Okay, any other questions? Dr. Faiza, you are from which faculty?
I'm from education.
Education. I think, yeah, education, there is 2 tracks actually. Do you guys have any research groups or no?
No, we don't.
Oh,
So
okay.
that will be a problem if let's say I want to apply for this, and let's say I have an idea. Well, I have an idea of the establishment of, let's say, consortium. So it's going to be a problem for me because I don't belong to any research group.
So if we look here, if you are the member, yeah, but it still says kumpulan. So, but at education, there are no research groups at all. This is interesting.
We have a research cluster, but then I am not a member of that research cluster.
Oh, I see. You do have you do have research clusters. So then maybe in the next, I think the next round you can apply. But so you should prepare from now lah, I guess, to be a member of a research group or a research cluster.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions before we go through the form?
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Anis. I'm asking regarding the requirement is that this group should be 2 years old. I'm not clear about that.
Yeah, so your group should have been established at least for 2 years. So maybe 2018 or 2017 or anything below 2018.
And this research group is in our kuliah. Research group is they are established by the appointment from our dean. So it's not in the university level. Is that we can define that as the research group?
Yes, you can define it as a research group. That means you can be a member. That means you can collaborate with other universities. So you, as long as you can be a member of the group, and yeah, that is not a problem actually, as long as you are not the leader. So when we go through the forms, you will see that the monies will be divided, and it's up to you to decide. I mean, it's up to the members of the team to decide how to give the monies. So it's 500k, you can decide to give like 150 each maybe, or yeah, so the members will also get monies. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, any other questions? Okay, if no questions, I will go through borang A. Okay, borang A. So can you see my screen? Yes, no?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So the first form is on the consortium. It's not on the proposal, but it's not on the research proposal, but it's on the consortium. So this is Borang A. So the first part is the name of the consortium. So you can decide between the three research groups to what name you would like to have. And then how will the organization, then will be the executive summary for the consortium as well. How is your organizational structure? What is your niche area? What is your action plan, your way forward, and your milestones? Short summary, 300 to 400 words. And then the duration of the program, which is 24 months. And of course, you have to select one niche area. These are the niche area for IR 4.0, AI, teaching and learning, economic competitiveness, digital learning, future food, creative industry, and transportation and mobility. Okay, so so this is the interesting part. They want us to be involved in in the national policy. So you have to specify how your research will impact on the national policy. And then is the details of the head. So like I mentioned earlier, they will scrutinize the head of the consortium more than the members. So the head, these are the details, the position, etc. And then the appointment to the current position, and whether you are permanent or contract, and your research area. So they would like to know your active grant. So the leader must be an PI and active grant and have an active grant in the specific research field. So you have to specify this. This one is in the last 3 years. And then the publications. This is only for the head, okay? Head of the Research Excellence Consortium. So their publication in the last 5 years. And then you can specify the members. So first, the member of the leading institution. So they should have 2 other members. Okay, so member number 1 and member number 2. And then, so for example, if this is from UIA, so this is UIA, G1 is UIA, and this is also UIA, and all this above is UIA. Okay, so for example, the second member university is from UTM. So the name of the Center Excellence from UTM or the research group, and then the name of the 3 researchers involved. Okay, researcher number 1, number 2, number 3. And then the next university. So if, for example, if you are collaborating with USM, so this is the Center of Excellence or the research group in USM, then the 3 researchers from USM. Okay, and okay, these are the details on the grant that is specific to the niche area. So you can put the details. And this is the budget. So this is the budget will be divided into 3 projects because there are 3 universities. How much? And project 3. This is the research component. And of course, there are collaboration components. So you can, if one university is good at collaboration or networking, they may want to request more budget on the collaboration and less budget on the research. So this one is up for discussion between the members. So you can allocate how you wish on the budget. So, and the training. So if there is a very new research group and they want more training, so they can request for this allocation to be higher. Okay. And then the declaration. Okay. All right. Any questions on this form? Okay, right? We are okay. Then I open the next form, which is Borang B. Can you see my Borang B?
Yep.
Okay, great. So this is Borang B, and this will focus on the research. So here you specify first the name of the consortium and then your research title. So this looks a bit like TRGS, only that it is within the two other universities, with the two other universities. So you have the program title and then the research summary, right? So it depends. It should match the 8 research niche just now. And then you have the detailed proposal, which is the background, the literature review, problem statement, etc. Then your objectives, and then your methods, and then your expected benefit. So the expected benefit just now should match the ones in the slide. That means there should be active collaboration, there should be 1 PhD and 2 masters at least, and there should have impact on the national policy. Okay. So this is the duration of the research activity. So you can put in your Gantt chart or your milestones. And then this is the breakdown for each project. So if you are a member of the project, you only need to prepare this summary, right? So there is the project title. So each big program is divided into 3 projects, and each project is tied to the university. So this is the project title, the synopsis, and the proposed budget. So this is the details, and who is the PI and which field it is. It should match the 8 fields, and who are the co-researchers. Okay, and then project 2, the same like project 1, so there are 3. And then you have, this is similar to TRGS, so you have to have the connectivity between the 3 projects. And this is the budget. The budget is divided into 3 projects, so you can specify. So this can be prepared by the university, each university, like which vote you'd like to fill in. Okay, and this is the most important part, I think, which is how is your research deliverable going to impact the society, the economy, environment, industry, and the national policy. So this is the most important. So this is what they want actually, and this is how this is different from the other research grants. And that's it. Okay, so any questions?
Assalamualaikum, Prof. Should we submit the proposal through the migrant online system or just no?
No. The proposal is you have to submit to Sister Haliza, which is my assistant, Haliza at IIUM. I will put her name here. On the deadline is on the 21st.
Okay, thank you, Prof.
Assalamualaikum, Prof.
So because we have to do yes, Waalaikumsalam, Dr.
I
Rika.
have a question. If we are being invited by other universities to join their consortium, can other members in our research group apply as the main person in the consortium? So it means like the 2 research group will be in the 2 applications, but different people inside.
It's a bit it would be better not to stand for example, you are nano-org is bidding for 2. That is that shouldn't be. You should, if you have any other research group, you should apply as another research group, so not to overlap, because they don't allow one group to apply for 2 consortium.
We are invited by other universities. If that is the case, it's considered 2 application as well as Prof. Anis.
Yeah, it's considered as 2 applications.
Okay, all right. So we have to think wisely lah whether to accept the invitation or not, right?
Yeah. And which group you represent, right? Because for example, you also are in other research groups, right?
Okay, yeah. Yes. So thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Anis.
Okay. So we are going, the form has to be evaluated internally by university. So KPT is very strict on that. So that is why I do not want to jeopardize any application from our university. So KPT is very, very strict. So if they find out that we don't evaluate properly, which is why I put the deadline on 21st, they will reject all of us. So in order not to do that, so we should submit on 21st and make sure that we have time for corrections, etc. So that the panel to correct your proposal and give feedback so that the final proposal that you send to KPT will be the most perfect one. So that one is on the 30th. So everything has to arrive on to the ministry on the 30th. Okay. Any other questions? So if you look at the email earlier on, which announced the grant in the IIUM announcement, all the forms are there, Borang A and Borang B. Yeah. So I think, is there any issue of getting the forms? And I also recorded this briefing so that later I will put it on YouTube so that you can look at it again if you wish. But now is for any other questions. No more questions? Everybody is okay? So we hope that, because I think the ministry has a lot of funding for this, so we hope that everybody who are eligible to apply, because this is a good opportunity to build our network and to build, and I guess this is the way forward for KPT. They no longer want high COEs to be in silos in different universities. So now they want us to establish it this way. So I think it will be more beneficial for the nation that way as well. So yeah, try your best. And if you have any questions, you can email me. The link for my PowerPoint, it is here. I will share again. Okay. Any other issues? You can also look at the announcement where it has all the forms, and there is also the guidelines. Let me see, I can also put the guidelines here. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. If there are no more questions, you can email me for any questions, or you can also contact Sister Haliza. All right. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Assalamualaikum.
Welcome.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, no problem.